This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, you all can hear me, right? So I'm starting now. So just last session, we actually learned the functions in DS board, and we saw some problems with the dates, and uh, we scheduled something. It was going to next year and all. Actually, I didn't go and see why. Yeah, and no, it was something to do with the time I spent on checking everything. I would rather create a new data, so I created one new set of data immediately after the session, and I just did a simulation. It was working okay. um, so we'll see rest of the functions today in that example in the new set of products that I've created, and then uh, setup matrix. Yeah, so I have created some basic data, just creating a material and a structure, a bomb, routing and work center. So just one structure I've created, but the goal is to achieve changeovers on one machine, 5 different products. Yeah, so how do we do changeovers? So let's see, let's build a matrix, uh, and then we get into, today we'll get into optimization also. Yeah, and then if time permits, uh, in the demo session, someone wanted to learn supersession chains. We'll see that. That is called product interchangeability. Okay, so let's see how we go, and then decide to what extent we can learn today. Any questions? Someone, I thought someone said something just now. Okay, so I'm straight away going to the detailed scheduling planning board, and you see the overall profile is the standard one. See, there are two things I suspected last week. What happens is in some systems, even this was happening in APO before, and then it could be the problem in S4 as well, but we don't know. Hence, I actually tried to simulate using the standards. Every time you copy standard objects, okay, uh, the parameters that you copy may not be 100%. Yeah, sometimes the standard objects things will work, and when you copy a standard, say for example, a strategy profile or a heuristic, um, a time profile, it could be anything, whichever you copy. The copy may not be one to one. Yeah, some kind of inconsistency. And we always go to SAP and say that I use standard, everything works. When I use a copy, exactly the copy of standard, it doesn't. So then they provide some note corrections and all those things, right? So I suspected that last week, and hence I simulated everything in the standard overall profile, standard heuristic profile, everything standard. But also the good news is that, see, these are all standard objects. Okay, so if you look at DS strategy profile, it'll be using the standard SCP-001. Heuristic profile would be something which is standard, but we have a lot of other heuristics, right? So, and also if you look at more profiles, you'll see planning profile, time profile, everything is standard. And later what I did, I actually tried to simulate with the newly configured uh, this one overall profile, which has our own objects. That is the time profile, the one that we created, uh, strategy profile, heuristic profile, is everything is the one that we configured. So it seems to work properly. I think it's someone played around with master data, maybe changes in, it could be in a relationship, it could be anywhere, I don't know. Okay, um, but we are not using the same product because I just told you that this problem, this set of data is corrupt. Yeah, so This is a good way of knowing how a work area can be set up at a system level. You all saw that I configured work area where I called some of the resources, I called products and said this is what the name of the work area is. And that is configured right from development system until production, it gets transported. Say, for example, you have around 15 to 20 different work areas. It's so difficult to maintain all this or create all this in each system. So at a high level, the important work areas can be configured, and later if you want to do some modifications, that can be done at a system level directly. Okay, so the work area is something that I'm using standard, but though it is standard, it will be under my name. See, immediately the new set of data will come where the resource will start from W new is what I just created last week. I just given the naming convention as new work center, new set of products. Yeah, new star. Okay. So this is one way. How to do it is you have to just call a work area whatever you want, and by default it will show your name because you are creating it. Okay. And here you have something called save icon. You can always save the work area and then name it. And whenever you go to overall profile, the default uh, the default work area will come up. There you can change the work area the way you want, exactly like I just showed you what I did. It was showing me the old work area, then I changed it to a new work area manually, and the new set of objects came up. Okay, so let's get inside, and let's not actually go and do everything, every damn thing. Yeah, let's see if some of the critical things which we missed out. It looks so clean, there is nothing, but I had actually created some orders. To see that, you can always, like I always said, go to the first object. See here, there is something. When it is on 12th. Yeah. So, like we can always go and say, um, just remove the backlog. It should go somewhere in the future or current date. This also you can do. You're just removing the backlog, and now you go to. So it is showing you somewhere here. Yeah, you can select this, and this doesn't have any pegging relationship because this is finished goods and this is semi-finished goods. See whether anything happens if you say bottom up. See, it has done a bottom up heuristic now. So you have semi-finished goods which is starting from current date and current time. Yeah, and uh, so you want the finished goods to move forward so that you finish semi-finished goods and start finished goods. That also can be done. And if you think that finished goods cannot be produced at that time, just see if whether anything can be pulled. Yeah, see, you saw that the finished goods, though you moved it, that may not be ideal. Yeah, that is in with reference to the end time of semi-finished goods is what system proposed, but that time may not be suitable for you, and you decide when you want to produce finished goods. Okay, um, and then you move wherever you want to move. You can do a specified date and all those things, and then you can pull the semi-finished goods order to align with the finished goods, and that's the reason we run top down and bottom up. Yeah, see, you observe one more thing here. See the relationship. There is a relationship built because you have said that the um, my you ran bottom up planning, so it built a relationship between semi-finished goods and finished goods. Now, because that bottom up heuristic parameters are already there, if it thinks that these two are having a relationship, if the finished goods moves, semi-finished goods also move. But the relationship what we have said is After you finish the semi-finished goods production, only then you have to start finished goods production. Okay, but it should allow you to move it this side. It allows because this is still uh, after semi-finished goods production, right? Maybe this will not allow. See something like this. See, the semi-finished goods will never go, beyond the start of finished goods. Okay, so that's the relationship between. So this is all inherited with, if you know, here also you can control all those. See, so this is cross order. There are two things. Okay, I may not be having an example to show. Think about these are two different orders, right? This is one order and this is another order. So where you have a relationship where it obeys the relationship at all times, because we have said always consider, and this is how it should be by default. Now you have think about uh, a product which has three different operations. You have um, starting an operation, a drilling operation, turning operation, milling operation, grinding operation. So there are four operations in an order. Then it becomes order internal relationship within the order. This is cross order. This and this is cross order. And if you have that example, then the second operation needs to start only after first operation. Third operation should start only after second operation. So that relationship, if you want to maintain, then you should have always consider the order internal relationship. Internal is within the order. Okay, and let's. And I actually have to show this. Uh, that day these things didn't work. And you all saw how today I cannot show you schedule outside working time because we don't have any non-working time, because that's already seen last week. We saw both directions, backward, forward, everything we saw last week. But other things we can, we have find slot, we have insert, we have insert and close gaps, we have infinite scheduling. We already saw deallocation. If someone wants to see that again, you tell me, because I can show that. I have an example. Yeah.
Sanjeev,
Um,
I want to see the deallocation also because it was not clear last week. Yeah.
okay, we'll see that. Don't worry.
I have a question.
Um,
This is Raja Ravi.
mhm.
So when you started this showing this example, they were not pegged. So after you ran the bottom up heuristics,
Bottom up.
so the pegging relations were formed, right? That is when it.
Yes, yes,
Okay, okay,
yes. Yeah.
okay.
So that is, see, whenever you run infinite planning, right? See, that is the first thing that we do in the background job. We don't want to run infinite because we want to see the situation.
Oh,
So once you have seen the situation, you have to decide whether finished goods is critical or semi-finished goods is critical. You cannot have both critical. It will never work out. I go to any industry,
yeah.
they do at finished goods level only. Yeah, because that is the one they sell, and they
So,
try to align everything with finished goods.
so before this, what heuristics did you run? You said infinite. So you ran something to
Just
generate
planning,
these plan. Okay.
but just planning, just multi-level planning. It creates
Oh,
planned order, header
yeah.
to. Yeah.
Got it.
So
Okay.
in real time, finished goods orders are there. That's already scheduled, firmed, everything, and then they run semi-finished goods order so that it gets aligned to
Yeah.
the schedule of finished goods. But if you think that you suddenly your semi-finished goods becomes bottleneck, you want to schedule that, then you should do this. Okay, schedule bottom up, semi-finished goods, and then run bottom up heuristic. So all your finished goods orders will be. Another thing that I didn't show you is this icon. See this icon here, very important. Now I'm having just two orders. Now I'll create more, but as of now, I have only two orders. When you have say 50 orders, you don't know. Here you have a product chart. Here you have a resource chart. You may have more charts also. There is something called stock chart, order chart, and all. If you want, how do you identify which orders you are looking at? So this indicator here, it will show you. Say, for example, you selected this. If you go and click this one, it shows you the corresponding order. in other charts, product chart, stock chart, or any other chart. Okay, and you also want to know the pegging relationship. One level, see, this is just single level only. But say for example, you have a multi-level in the sense the three levels of bomb. Yeah, so you do multi-level planning. How do you know which are the orders that are getting pegged to? This is the one. If you select the first order and select this one here, multi-level, it will show you all the levels. Okay, so very important, just to identify which order you're working on. That's something I forgot last week. Okay, so what I'm trying to do is say, let's take this order and let's say, see, the other thing that I did was I have not taken any setup time, nothing, just standard production time I've given, because today we have a session on that where we'll show you based on setup time how do we uh, use the changeover methods. Here, yeah, say I create around, maybe we need some more time, some more, um, okay. I think for those who didn't see you can also um, change the order quantity. I believe everyone attended my session last week. There are other things that I showed, splitting orders by time, by quantity. See, there is this, okay. So I just reduced the quantity of this order, okay. And then what I want to do is using this as a template. I want 5 orders. Using this as a template, so immediately you'll see that green line. So that green line is nothing but there are more orders. See here, you don't see that green line because there is only one order here. You don't see, whereas here you see that. So this will, when you expand it, this is expand multiple loading, or if you don't want to expand, if you say hide multiple loading. Okay, so both are possible. Say expand multiple loading and see what is the strategy. If you say current date and say forward, click on reschedule. See at current date there, okay. From, so that is current date is not today's date, I told you, but our example was not good. It was not respecting what we were trying to do last week. Yeah. So current date is being at that period. Okay, that is current, not current date. Okay. But if you want, see now this is undo icon. If you want it to be scheduled as early as possible, yeah, as early as possible, where, because you have find slot. I am telling the system, find the slot as early as possible. I want to produce. That is also possible. See, this is the earliest it can do. This is the earliest. Okay, that is this red line. You see the red line. That is the current date and time. And you also saw this moved because there is a pegging relationship between semi-finished goods and finished goods, right? So hence this also moved along with. So if you click this, it will say pegging relationship. Now you see there are 2 orders getting pegged. Yeah, why? Because it's the quantity. This is higher. So if I reduce this to um, Now if I run bottom up, this will get pulled. Okay, this will also get pulled. This is creating confusion, right? Yeah, so let's remove this from here. Okay, so select this, and you don't want to do this for various reasons. Yeah, you define, you tell the system when it has to schedule. Say forward direction, backward also you can do, but the thing is, you don't know exactly from where you have to start backward because there are so many orders. Forward is, tomorrow morning I'm starting it, something like that. Yeah. So if you say today is what, 15th, right? So you say 16th morning, 8 o'clock, whatever time you want to give. So that gets pushed exactly where you want. See, yeah, 7 o'clock it is starting. So now we can see deallocation, every other function we'll see. Okay. So let someone wanted to see deallocation. So let's start with deallocation. So if you try to move this, it doesn't allow because we have a find slot strategy. There is no slot, hence order cannot be produced, on 17th. It has to, the right side it will go because there is slots, but left side there is no slot. Maybe here you can, but I don't want to produce that early. I want to produce somewhere here. So what it does is, you can always say, select this, very easy, deallocate. This gets deallocated, means the capacity consumption of this particular order is ignored. That is deallocation. It stays there. It is there, but it's not considered as if it's there. Then you can actually go like this. It'll allow. Hey, what happened? This one, sorry guys. Deallocate. This one. See, the moment you say deallocation, you'll see an yellow strip. Okay. So I just said that capacity is considered as not available. Now it should allow. See, it says there are two orders. This green line indicates that there is one more order, but it allows you to um, actually schedule manually. Yeah, and when you in the today I'll show you in optimization and all. I'll say what I should do with the deallocation orders. Should I have to fix it and also there are some few things you can do. In this case, whether you run planning, whether you run scheduling, it just ignores the orders which are deallocated. Okay, you can take it back, and the moment you do some changes to it, it becomes allocated. See, now it is still under. Now it will not allow. Okay, so if you want to change a deallocated order to allocate to, what I do is I just give it a small touch move, or you can just select that current date and reschedule. Immediately it becomes allocated. So that is another thing. And what if I want to actually, I want here this one to be, but it doesn't allow me because because of find there is no slot. So if you select find slot, insert operation, you have a look here. Okay, so if you take this and then you can actually, there are two things, so squeeze in and insert. See, this got inserted. This, yeah, that order got inserted, and see there is something called squeeze in. Both are same. Insert operation you can use if you want to, there is 5 hours of capacity, but your order length is 8 hours. So you can insert an operation. Squeeze in is nothing but something which I just showed you. Both are same. Let's see that also. So this is find slot. This is insert operation. This is insert and close gap. So this we'll do later. Let's change to Then there is another thing called append. Append is nothing but it always goes and sits at the end. Okay, it'll append to, it'll go and sit somewhere here. Okay, so what I want to do now, I want to squeeze in. See, insert operation and squeeze in operation, there is no difference. So you show your planners only how to insert, both works the same way. Okay, and but what about if the situation is like this? Um, w- Here there is something called insert and close gaps. Let's see how this works. I'll take this one and I'll insert between these two, and everything will, I insert it between two orders, and it will go and look at the entire horizon. So what is my horizon? That is a time profile. That is this. Whatever time that I've defined, which is relevant for scheduling, until that horizon, it will close all the gaps. Not your PPDS horizon, or it could be, last week we saw the horizon heuristics where we said horizon is like 60 days, 90. It will not do that. That is only for planning. Here, it will only close the gaps until your time profile period. Okay, it will close all the gaps. And then you have something called, there's something I want to show you, infinite scheduling also. But before that, I want to do this. Whenever you select all the orders, think that you have finalized the plan completely. Okay. Um, then you can select control, right click and say fix. The moment you fix the orders, say by default let it stay as a find slot. The moment you fix the orders, you'll see that red strip. When you have that, it is fixed. You cannot move right, you cannot move left, you cannot schedule because it's all fixed. Okay, but the problem is um, when someone goes and plans, not someone, it could be your background job. Okay? In the background job, think that there is some quantity, there's some forecast, new forecast released to the system or new demands. It could be anything. It could be a dependent demand, it could be a sales order where something needs to be produced on 17th. It goes and puts all the orders there, which planners don't like. Okay, planners will fix all the orders like I just showed you, and they take printout. They go to there's some report in ECC, right? COISP report and all. So the regular process is the orders are scheduled like this for the entire next week at all the resources. They fix it, they save it, um, they take the printout, or it's up to them. They send it to the process team. So this is my schedule for next week. Okay, and then nightly job will come and disturb. Okay, how it disturbs? Say for example, I create a new order. I'll say create an order of say 600 on 17th at any time, because there are even this time is okay, and make sure this is forward. Yeah, and when you say okay, see this, it has somewhere, it has put the order where it is actually getting overlapped. Yeah, what if I do like this now, because it's fine slot? Okay, now we'll see infinite, how infinite works. The difference between deallocation and infinite, deallocation, it ignores the capacity, but in infinite scheduling, it considers the capacity. Say I say infinite schedule. See, it's totally disturbed. So it disturbed your schedule. It could be due to someone creating orders manually like I created, or maybe some planning run. Anything happens in the system, it bring, even though you have firmed your orders, you fixed your orders, okay, but still tomorrow planners go and see in the system processed, the planners gave them 10 orders for next week, suddenly there are 15 orders. Yeah, so that's the reason our planners always want to freeze the period itself. Fixing will not work sometimes. How you do it, I'll just take it off outside and then we'll come back. This is the thing, that this is the period, say 3 o'clock, starting from 2 o'clock on 16th until 4 o'clock on 18th. Okay, I don't want anything to get planned or scheduled. Then we call it period fixing. Okay, select this. There are other ways also to go there. I think it should be go to special resource maintenance. This is a fixing interval, or you can write like this, and here also you have fixing intervals. If you go look at the older version of APO, this was not there. Say before 7, this was not there. So now in even the latest version of APO, right click resource, you directly get this. Okay, so what I was telling here, there are two things. If you want to create an interval in here, you can do, but while planning, if you want to create an interval where that is also possible. Okay, um, I was saying that it's sys 16. Let it be 0 0, doesn't matter, right? And then till I will say 18th, time can be say 4 a.m. Here you have to say add interval. Dop. See, it it goes in that, you see the pink background there. It has frozen that period. So this is what you should tell planners, that every time they fix the planned orders, that is not sufficient. And see, there are other ways to handle this. They give a planning time fence. Okay, so next whatever 7 days, 10 days, they create a planning time fence. Okay, so the problem with planning time fence is the planners don't want a constant value. They always want dynamic. Today 7 days, tomorrow they want 5 days, and then again day after tomorrow they want 10 days. So whenever they have a requirement like that, if they are always constant, I schedule on Wednesday and next 10 days I don't want anybody to disturb, you put 10 days as planning time fence, that will take care of this absolutely. But I also showed you, someone manually selects infinite scheduling and pulls the order. Yes, it's possible, because planning time fence is only planning, not scheduling. Scheduling heuristic does not understand planning time fence. When you run MRP heuristics, standard lots of planning heuristics, it understands plan. And SNP also respects planning time fence. In this case, what we just did, fixing interval, this is only for PPDS. Planning time fence is both for PPDS and SNP. Both the engines respects that. This one only PPDS respects, because this is a PPDS function. Okay, hence if you have SNP integration, and if you have an overlap horizon, never use what I just showed you, because SNP will come and put orders inside that if you have an overlap horizon. Okay, so just note it down. Best practice to use planning time fence. Priority 1. If planners want dynamic planning time fence, you need to propose this one. But if planners want dynamic time fence, and if they also want SNP to respect, tell them it's not possible. That's the limitation. Okay. Here, the orders you can never take it inside, whether infinite scheduling or anything. Nothing goes inside this. Okay, the whole period is fixed.
So even if there is S&P orders, it will not
It
disturb
will.
this.
And that's what I just said. S&P cannot understand fixing interval. This is a PPDS heuristic. If you want S&P also to respect the period, then use planning time fence.
Or
Okay.
or you can use a non-overlapping horizon, right? That also can.
In non-overlapping horizon, absolutely no problem at all.
Yeah.
But you see everywhere they overlap. I don't think anyone will agree to it, because there could be a period where S&P planner also wants to see the situation. And that is the reason we have conversion of orders from S&P to PPDS. Yeah, you're right. If they agree that two different horizons, then you really don't have to worry. I'm just trying to. I thought we gave 4 o'clock. See here, you can delete. There is in the background job you can do, and next week when you move forward, you can go and delete also. You can. Okay. So this will remove the where is infinite? Yeah, infinite will go and put it inside. That's the reason we want that one. So for those who didn't see planned order split and all, don't think this is the last time that we are coming to DS board. This is why we started to get into DS board from last week. For every function will come here, setup matrix will come, optimization will run from here only. Okay, don't worry about it. And I'm just thinking if there is anything that I've uh, missed out. Here there are few things. See, some of the functions that I showed you, the select objects of same order is there here. Okay, that is nothing but this one. Sometimes there are icons, and you can also do for a particular order. Here also you can do. There are many ways to do. So reschedule you have here. Here also you have reschedule. Deallocate, interrupt, fix, undo fixing. Interrupt I'll show when the time comes. Okay, this is you'll see this when we learn classification next Saturday. Okay, conversion indicator. All these are maintain resource is nothing but either you click on this one, it goes to resource master. See here, if you double click this, it takes you here. This one here. With double click, it takes you to resource master. Or else you can right click and go to that particular resource. If you double click here, it takes you to product view. Okay, so from here you can navigate to product master. Right clicking here, you can go to product master also. Not only from the order I showed you, you can actually go to product master from here also. Okay, and then if you go to uh, see multiple loading, I just showed you, expand height, that is there here. That is there here also, multiple loading. So like that, there could be an icon, or if you right click, you can get that. See, sometimes you remember last week when we created a planning product planning table, I showed you, you can always have a different unit of measure, production unit of measure. You go to purchasing view, you'll see purchasing unit of measure. You go to sales view, you see sales unit of measure. Like so, if you go to product master in MRP views in ECC, you don't have that. So here you can do. If you have defined what is your alternative unit of measure for production, then you can convert that and see here. Okay. See here. Begin with current date. Begin with date. So I showed you, right? Begin with first graphical object. Begin with current date. Yeah. Begin with a date means you can see here. what I just showed you. Say finish with last graphical object. Yeah, like this. Begin with first graphical object. It will be like this. Okay, so you have different drop downs for that. While I was telling this, something came to my mind. What's that? This one. Normally, when you have a lot of orders, it becomes very easy to visualize. So you can always change it to say weekly view. See, when you have lots and lots of orders, you can want to see everything together. You can keep changing the views like this. Monthly view. Yeah. Actually, recently was in like a UAT, user acceptance testing phase, where there was a scenario where there were lots of orders, like 60, 70 orders, and then we had to show them bottom up. Just imagine 60 orders finished goods, 60 orders semi-finished goods, so many products. So I had to show them with this, by making this monthly, and I had to show them. Only then they could understand. If you do it in a daily view, it's very difficult. Okay. See, we'll come back to this. We will today we'll come back to this DS part again, because we have to. In that, I'll also once again show you planned that splitting the orders, and here I'll also show. Yeah. So here, this should be enough. The setup key is actually not required. So here, with this, we need to learn how to sequence the orders. Okay, descending and ascending. We'll come to that. You can save it. Okay, the moment you save, see, my name comes. Okay, so we'll come back to this. If you want, you've done all this. If you just save, you have to just say adopt it. Okay, only then it gets adopted. I don't know what message is this. Let's come out of this completely, and we have to get back to Excel.
Just one question, Sanjeev.
Sure.
So in the DS port, like let's say we have a machine capacity which is available, but we have a labor constant. How we
Who is
can?
this? Is it Soumitra?
Yeah. Yes.
I thought so, because you've been asking this for a while, right? See, labor constraint, we actually don't use PPDS for managing your laborers, right? So you tell me, how do I capture labor capacity here? Because PPDS is only plans production and also plans your capacity. I know labor can be a capacity. Then you'll have to treat labor like we have treated a machine. Then you can. My machine here has 24 hours capacity, right? So that's my machine. Now, if I bring in labor into it, labor has only 8 hours capacity. Then I need to align my machine capacity equals your labor capacity. Then I can manage. Labor capacity is always managed externally, and that is the reason planner always gives the schedule to process team, saying that this is what I want to produce next week, and they manage laborers based on the schedule.
Okay.
Right? Actually you cannot. PPDs you don't use for labor capacity.
Okay.
Sanjay, this Pradeep here. Sorry, I have some one question actually. It is a basic
Sure.
question, but still I want to clarify now. I thought it's
Yeah, no
okay.
problem. Tell me.
See, let's say in the order. Okay, basically my question is how to decide. Okay, in the DS planning board works with the resource. Okay, based on for
Yes.
each resource we are scheduling it. So what is the criteria to decide the resource? That let's say in the finished product, I have let's say 5 operations. It has 5 different resources. So in the real-time scenario, how I can decide which resource I should use for detailed scheduling. Okay, if I have 5 operations.
When you have 5 operations on 5 different
Yeah,
machines, right? That's what you're asking. So
exactly. Yeah,
and your question is, how do I decide which resource to
decide.
use?
Yes, yes,
No,
exactly.
you
Which
don't decide, right?
resources?
When you run planning, when
Mm-hmm.
you run planning looks at your route, and route has 5 machines, and you will see on all the resources orders are already there.
Okay.
So you don't have to decide. System has already scheduled or planned orders on all those 5 resources. So the moment you schedule, I showed you, right, that maintain order internal relationship. If you schedule on one resource, all the orders will move, because
Okay.
everything, I showed you start finish relationship, finish relationship, you would have already defined, right?
Yes, yes,
So
correct.
I'm telling, so 5 operations, okay? First operation and second
Yeah,
operation. What is the relationship? Finish start relationship.
yeah,
Oh,
correct.
now, if I schedule on the first operation, forward scheduling to 18th of March, all the operations also moves along with that, because there is a relationship built in.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
You don't have to select all the resources. You select only the first one.
Okay. Okay, understand.
Everything takes care by itself, because you have built-in relationship in recipe or in a PDS.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Tell me.
So also because on the strategy profile settings, it will move all the operations, all the resource orders. Yeah.
Strategy.
Particularly.
See, I suggest more than strategy. It should
Mm-hmm.
be, sometimes, you have planning heuristics. Sometimes you may have a different strategy profile which may not respect that. So whenever you have these kind of, multiple operations in one order, you should always build a relationship within the operations. That is in PDS. Finish start.
Okay.
Think that you want to start first operation and second operation together. Okay.
Okay.
Then how system will know? Then you should say start relationship. Or if you want first operation, second operation to finish together, you need to have finish relationship between those 2 operations.
Okay. Understand. Yeah.
Yeah. Then you decide which resource, system will take care of it.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me if you have further
Yes.
questions.
The second question. It is related to conversion of plant order into production order. Basically, I'm PP guy. So that means after once we fix the schedule in the DS board, then once I froze the plant, then the plant orders will be converted into production order. Is it right, or what is the? I mean, which stage is the conversion?
Yeah. This
Okay.
stage, what we just did, where we frozen the horizon and fixed everything, from that time onwards, you're allowed to convert the plan order to
Okay.
production order.
Clear.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you saw the conversion, right? That day we saw already.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you see? Okay. So it's just a click of a button. It just becomes planned order, and the production order will have the same dates. And that is the problem. Whenever you do that, the production, you don't go and give the process team the planned order numbers. You give the production order numbers to them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So before you give it to them, you need to convert the orders and then give the and they will release whenever they produce.
Clear. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay.
So a PPDS planner's job ends after converting plan order to production order. Okay, his job is done. After that, it's all execution.
Okay.
And
Okay.
after that, PPDS planners, what he does, like I just started the session by showing that. Now you have think that you've already given the process team what needs to be produced this week or next week, whatever. And every Monday you come to you open the system and see, did they produce everything last week? Because I'm planning for this week or next week, whatever. So I just want to make sure if there is any backlog, Saturday machine breakdown, or labor didn't turn up for various reasons, they couldn't produce on Saturday, on Sunday. So what we have to do? We have to run the first thing on Monday, backlog heuristic. bring everything to Monday, and then push all the orders of Monday to Tuesday, increase overtime. That I showed you how to manage downtimes, how to manage non-working times. All these things they do Monday, Tuesday. Wednesday onwards, normally Tuesday night PPDS planning runs. Wednesday onwards till Friday, they work on planning for the next week. So this is a kind of a day in a life what I'm talking about. Day in a life of production plan.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
So today what we have to learn is, I have one machine, but I'm producing say 4 or 5 products on the same machine, and the requirement is on the at the same time. How do I sequence the orders? That is one. At the same time, I want to sequence it based on say you have product A, B, C, D, E, 5 products. Okay, and if I sequence it, I can sequence it like this: A, after A, I want to produce B. After B, I want to produce C, then D, then E. So like this, I can sequence. Absolutely no problem, no big deal at all. But the problem is not only sequencing. Problem is, if you produce A, then if you produce B, there is a setup time of 45 minutes. But if I produce C, the setup time is only 20 minutes. And after that, I want to produce E because it's very less. Absolutely think that there is no setup time required at all. Why? Say for example, I'm producing raw milk, which is E is raw milk, and D is chocolate, and uh, this one is maybe vanilla flavor milk. So the change over time from raw milk to vanilla is nothing. They don't clean at all. They directly start vanilla because the one of the requirements for vanilla flavored milk is raw milk, right? They don't have to do anything. Think that there is a chocolate flavored milk which is um, D, and then if I have to produce raw milk, there's an extensive cleaning required. There is a process you won't believe. I've seen it. Chocolate milk, there's a special type of cleaning. You need 30, almost half day. Yeah, 30% of the day's time is spent to clean only after chocolate flavored milk. I'm talking about cleaning of the tank, yeah, filling tank. You have to clean, or blending tank, you can call whatever you want. And hence, I want to produce always chocolate milk at end of the day, and then after that, before I start a production, I give 2 hours gap, and then which is used for. So normally, end of the day only we produce the chocolate flavor. So now that there is a schedule already, A, C, E, D, F. Okay, or B is missing, B. Planner wants to see, he wants to move B manually to next to C and see, okay, well, now what is my changeover time? And then he wants to move A to next to D and see what is my changeover time. So the moment orders are manually dragged and dropped, the setup time needs to change dynamically. Okay, dynamic changes should happen on the screen when you change the order, duration, or time. So if you want to see all those functionalities, you need to introduce setup matrix, because the matrix will have all combinations. What is the time from A to C, A to E, A to D, A to B? And what is the combination between C to A? All different combinations we maintain setup matrix. And then you drag and drop orders, immediately the time will change on your screen in front of you. You don't have to run planning for that. Okay, and we'll see what all needs to be done. Like I told you, until now whatever you learned on top of that setup matrix today, if you're thorough with this much, you can call yourself as for HANA advanced planning consultant, because most of the projects, 90% of the projects, stop at this. After this, whatever I show, it's all industry based functions. You go to steel industry, they use block planning, classification, CTP, uh, you know, um, uh, subcontracting. All this need based only. But because they have S4HANA advanced planning functionality, because they have APO functionality, they want to use PPDS. To keep it simple, they use only till here. And 99% of the PPDS implementations will have setup matrix. It is necessary for all industries, and that's where the implementation goes on till setup matrix. If you're thorough until there, other things and all, it depends which project you'll be placed. Okay, steel industry, paper industry, okay, block planning. That additional functionality you have to learn. That's all. But until here, you need it for, if they say PPDS, until here you must need. Like Lal says, you have to be very strong, setup matrix. You need to be very strong in master data, scheduling heuristics, and all the functions that I showed you: current date, desired date, specified date, earliest date, backward scheduling, find slot, insert operations, downtime scheduling. Yeah. So once you're thorough with whatever you saw last Sunday and until today, if you have practiced thoroughly, you can go and add things in your CV. I can guarantee you, you will sustain. Okay. In any new job, you can say I have 3 years experience if you know this much, what I'm showing. Okay, right. So let's go and simulate all this in the system, what I just showed you. In the interest of time, I have actually created one set of data. Okay. For that, you can see where you can see CA80, is it? CA, if I remember the T code, where used list. I have used a resource called setup. I don't remember now. CR02. Yeah, setup is the name. Just to, yeah. So if you go to this, just to show you, this machine is assigned to how many products. This is assigned in routing. Okay. Some routing header sequence operation. Let's take this. See, this is extended to 5 material: setup 1, setup 2, setup 3, 4, 5. And these are the routings that I've created: 74, 75, and all these things. Okay, so you have 5 products, only one machine in all the routings. Okay, so next week and all we'll be seeing how when you have 5 different production version, how do we manage? If you have only one like this, how do we manage with only one PDS? See, in this case, I have one machine, 5 routings, 5 production versions, because that's when I'll have 5 PDSs. OP43 is the transaction. OP43 is the transaction to create a setup group. See, we had a luxury in APO where we were creating setup groups directly. If I open one more screen, you can go to logistics, advanced planning. It will be master data. Here you have setup group and matrix. Okay, and this is the transaction for setup groups. If you select like this, execute, it will show all the setup groups that were SIFT. I told you in S4 box, setup groups needs to be SIFT. It doesn't come immediately. It needs an integration model. The luxury that we had in APO was that you can create setup groups directly in APO. Okay. The reason is that OP43, which I just showed you, is a configuration object. It's not a master data in ECC, whereas in S4 in APO, it's a master data. It's called application specific master data. Okay, but the problem is, think that the planner wants a setup group today. He cannot create because he needs to configure, needs to transport 2-3 days of all those transport management, and then he gets the setup group shift to APO after 3-4 days. Hence, they were some planners directly create in APO. I think there are a couple of guys from Coca-Cola. You go and check in your system in the European box, APO box. There, what they have done is they create setup groups directly in APO, and they through IDOC, it goes and gets published in the tables in ECC. Why? Because we need it in the routing. I cannot simply create here and start working. Now we have S4. We can actually make that field open in PDS, or else normally in PDS, if you want to have setup groups, that needs to come from routing. Okay, so earlier we had flexibility. Now we don't have flexibility. If you want setup groups, it has to be created here in OP43. Creation is just as easy as a new entry. So I have created 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but I'm using only 5 products. So A, B, C, D, E is enough. If you want to further drill down, say for example, see here they have standard setup group, say paint. Okay, if you want to further drill down, you can also create a key. So you can ask me what it is. Say exactly the SAP themselves have given an example. Paint can be a group. Anything which relates to paint can be a group, and within that group you can have different colors as key. Okay, so I gave you an example of a flavor, right? So think that um, a flavored milk is a group, and different flavors can be a key. That is one. Or you can have a flavored milk uh, uh, as a group, say chocolate flavor as a group, and then you can have key as size 300 ml, 600 ml, 1000 ml can be a key. Okay, because I have flavored milk, but it comes in 3 different sizes. I fill 300 ml first, then I fill 600 ml first, and then 1000 ml after that. Okay, so you want to sequence, right? Or you can say pack type also comes into picture. I'm talking about pack size. Size is like 300 ml, 600 ml, 1 liter. If you talk about pack type, then you have bottles, any containers, or whatever different pack types you have, cases, anything. Why we do all this is because in the tank there is already milk sitting. So you need to consume all the milk from the tank first. So you start filling bottles first. Yeah, then that small tins later. Okay, and then you start 300 ml, then you start 600 ml, 1 liter, everything one after the other. So you need to decide based on keys, setup group and setup key. Group is same, keys are different. Based on that also you can do. That's really advanced. Okay, um, when I first learned setup matrix, this was a scenario where we had groups and keys. Okay, so we built a some Excel expert actually built one fantastic Excel where we you know had all. If you create a setup group, click of a button, it builds the. It's called setup group builder, setup matrix builder. It builds the groups and keys by itself. We were creating something like this. Say, if the group is A, 101 underscore A, we were creating something like uh, name of the plant. In our case, say for example 0003, and what is the group? It's A1A, something like this. And then one more key called A1B, A1C. And the description will say whatever it's really, whether it's a bottle, it's a 600 ml bottle, whatever we write here. So just to identify, I know that it's a plant, and then I say it's 101A is the setup group, 1A. And then Same thing you should give here. Why it's not pasting? Okay, B. Why I want alphabetic order is because I want to sequence, right? So based on what it will sequence? Here I've given 101 underscore A, B, C, D, E. So I can sequence based on A, B, C, D, E, right? Manual system, you need to give some sequence to the system to schedule. And on top of that, you're adding a key within A. So even that should be something like this: A, B, C, D, E, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Some sequence we have to give so that system looks at it, ascending order or descending order it'll schedule. Okay, so let's see that. Right now I've actually so we can have it. I won't use it, but I'll show you how it shows in the routing. Say if I go to the route master CA02 for setup 1, yeah, I've created 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 metals I've created already. So if I go to this one, so all the operations will have same machine setup. When you double click this, okay, let me pull this up. Okay, so when you double click and get inside here, I have assigned setup group categories 101 underscore A. If you say F4, it will show all this. Okay, and did I save it there? Because I was expecting to see the key also.
No, I don't think you said.
I didn't save. Okay,
No,
setup group.
because it would have
No,
asked the transport, right? Because that was a config item.
no. We are in only one system. See, it's here. I
Oh,
selected
sorry.
the. So here we should assign the key also. Okay, now I'm saying this product is a chocolate flavored milk, 600 ml bottle is a product. Everything has different products, huh? That you keep in mind. Whenever you use, there'll be materials. Chocolate flavored milk, 600 ml is one metal code. Chocolate flavored milk, 300 ml is one metal code. Okay, so don't think one material and setup matrix will manage. No, if everything you should have a material, only then you can link the setup group and key at the material level. So this is the planning that you should do. You should just explain the concept to the planners and they will tell you what exactly they need. Okay, whether they want to use pack size as key or pack type as key. You cannot have multiple, huh? Either use pack size or pack type. You cannot use flavor, pack type, pack size. All the three you don't have because all I have is only these two to play around. I cannot go beyond this. Okay, so uh, like I told you, 99% of the implementations that I have seen has setup group. I would say 80% of them is only setup group. So you normally, to start with, nobody gets it so deeper into key also. Okay, and in setup matrix, there's another functionality which I'll show you today. Think that you're producing chocolate flavored milk. Okay, 600 ml. There are two orders, one after the other. Maybe due to lot sizes, it created two different orders of various reasons. Then I don't want any setup time at all. So how do I manage? You cannot manage that, right? If you go straight forward, every combination has a time. A to A has a time. Okay. So chocolate flavored 600 ml is setup group A. Chocolate flavored 300 ml is also A, right? Based on what we just discussed. So 300 ml to 600 ml, I need some changeover time because I have to change all the bottles. I have to, take out all the old bottles, align all the new bottles. I need at least 15 minutes time. Both are A. So I need 15 minutes as setup time. Think about, there are two orders within same chocolate flavored 300 ml. I don't want any changeover time, but I've already defined 15 minutes. How do we manage? There is a provision in matrix. I'll show you. I will also see that in the DS port. Okay, that's when I'll show you one order. We'll split it into two and see its changeover time and all those things. Okay, so this is all I've done. I've created 5 products. I have assigned all the 5 to one machine in the route. 5 routings, 5 production version. I shift everything to APO, and then I went to CFM1, which you all are experts now. One of the variants I created, I think this NGR, I saw one variant in that. Setup groups are not at a group level. Keep that in mind. Setup groups are always at a plant level. You don't need to do anything. It will read all the setup groups assigned to that plant. You saw in OP43, setup group was at a plant level. Okay, I just went and executed that. You see when this was executed. If you go to CFM2, see, only yesterday I ran. So what this has, it will show you only the plant. Yeah, so it is showing you setup group, yeah, for 0003. Okay, that's all I did. The moment I do that, I see the setup groups, yeah, same 0003, plant A, B, C, D, E. There you saw F, right? Yeah. So if you double click this, the setup keys are not there. I think let's see whether now we have key also. Let's go back. Let's see if the keys also come. Save it. It's locked. Oh, it's locked. I don't know. Ignore. No errors. Okay. You can go here and see whether the keys have come. It was linked to this one. Right? No, not AI. This also cannot be shift in the sense cannot be before we were creating manually. I don't want to troubleshoot in the sense troubleshoot this, but see there is I told you remote ini all this. See I'm getting this message where it is logged. I don't know. We can go to SM whatever that lock entries and all, but where it is locked. Have you opened any other screen? No. So we can actually go to this. Or let's go to where's the data go? Best way is to see this the one. For those who I was telling you that we can save the LUV, There's a good opportunity to learn this. See here, saving this LIV. In the SIF session, I was telling you that I cannot show you anything because I don't have any errors. Now we got an error. So this is how you save the logical unit of work. And then SMQ3, right? SMQ3, it'll show you all the saved. Then you can select this, and then you can this one restore. See, it'll restore back. You go to SMQ2 again, you'll see that. Yeah, you can select this, delete this. Okay, so what I'm trying to do is CFM2. This becomes an initial load. This should push everything. I know I'm getting diverted, but my own curiosity, I'm thinking why the keys didn't go. That message we didn't get. You should not get any locks like we just got. If everything is fine, you should not get any locks. Still, it's green, but there is a concern. I will just check once, and I'll not get into that. See, it has come now. So the keys will also come. You don't have to. Like I said, we had the luxury of having this. In APO, we don't in S4. And how do you validate? We assign it in the routing, right? How do you validate that? Here, in logistics, production, master data, no transfer relevant data. So I remember no, I have not. So let's assign a key here. I just want to show you how it looks like in PDS. Okay. So here we go. Then execute. If there's any change to the routing, it should see successfully transferred and created. So this is the nightly job we should schedule. And we go to APO Karto underscore Simu. Yeah, setup one. Okay, so here we don't have to go through all the steps, but go to activities. See here. If you don't have it, it always shows the key, and it will tell you this is in one. This is setup operation, setup activity. This is production activity. But in our case, we have only one operation, two activities, right? Hence, it shows you it is a link to setup activity. Okay, and if you look at setup 2, you will see the group name, not the key name, because if key is there, it shows the key. If key is not there, it should show the group name. Activity should show you the, see, 101 underscore B. It shows the group name because it has limitations in number of fields. number of characteristics, characters. Hence, it cannot either setup group it will show or setup key it will show. It won't show both. If key is there, it will show key. If key is not there, it shows the group. Okay. What we should do now is we should create a matrix. And for that, we should go to CDP SE7 transaction, or you can scroll down, maintain matrix. A name of fmat. Okay. New entries. Here we have to create 0003 fmat. Okay, save it. Normally, from here you should always come out. This is how all things, it doesn't work directly. Here, you have to double click. Then all these things will come. New entries. Okay. Here, what I've done is I have made an Excel. Okay, what I've done is I've put all the combinations here. 101A to A, 15 minutes. This I'll come later. I'll tell you what this is later. This is A to B, A to C, A to D, A to E. Again, B to A. So I have 5 groups, right? I have all the combinations here. B to A, B to B, B to C, B to D. There is C to A. All combinations are there. And I have defined the time also. What is the changeover time?
Sanjeev,
Yes.
quick question here. So
Mhm.
here we are defining the timings for the setup groups here. So for example, if I have a chocolate milk 300 ml flavor, 300, 500 and 1 liter and 2 liter. So between these products, for example, 300 to 500, 300 to 300 is 15 minutes, 300 to 500 is 20 minutes. So I can take that
Yeah.
combination.
Yeah.
So this is, we are defining at a setup group level. So then why the key is required here? Because
No, key to key also you can give.
so
Here, instead of giving group, you have to give the key. You can give group
okay,
and also you can give the key.
okay, fine, fine.
I told you,
So
right? In the group, down the level, you'll have one more level where you'll have group and key. So at that time, you have to give key to key relationship timing.
okay, okay.
Okay.
So we can define it any manner, group to group or
Any man.
key to key. Okay, fine.
In the same matrix, you can give group to group, key to key both.
Okay, understood.
Okay. But if you give key, if you have keys, it makes a lot of sense to go at key level, not at group level. What is the purpose, right? So
Yes,
it has to be at a key level.
yes. Okay.
Okay. So let me copy. There's another challenge here. We struggled a lot. Every time I deal with setup, we struggle because it doesn't let you copy and paste everything. It has a limitation. Okay. So if this is all it takes until here. See, you don't see any cursor, so you cannot scroll. Okay. You have to say enter, save it. So the upload tool that we had built it like this. It saves, comes out. Again, takes few more rows, again paste. So this is how we have to build. Yeah. Again, you have to go back. Yeah. Now you say new entries. Okay. Now to the question of Palani, how you can manage this if you have a key. I told you that key to key, you can give some time also. But I told you that if it is same chocolate 300 ml bottle to chocolate 300 ml bottle, what do you do? But because both are setup group A, yeah. See if you save this and come back, it'll show everything now. Okay. Now setup group A to A is 15 minutes. But mine 300 ml to 300 ml, why do I need 15 minutes? It's same product, same flavor, same bottle size, everything same. I want 0 or 1 minute, whatever. Yeah. So what you should do, you have, then you can, in that case, what you can do is here, this is called setup transition type. Okay, this one. E is for I think we should E is for exception setup transition setup without sending setup. I think it's E. Let's give E and C. Okay. If it doesn't work, it's I. I've forgotten now. 101 underscore A to 101 underscore A. 1 minute only. Okay. This one additionally will take. Then it's I. Yeah. Yeah. You know why it's said? It's not E because E is used only when you have setup keys. E is used for setup keys. I is used for group. Because I gave group here, it said you cannot give E. It's for setup type key. So now, like I was saying that you can have key as well as group, right? So yeah, you can have A to B key at key level also. You can define the changeover time. Doesn't make any sense. You have keys and then you go at group level. Yeah. So I've just given A to A 1 minute, and I've also given A to A 15 minutes. So we'll see both. Okay. Now we need to have some demand, and we'll go to PPT, PPT product planning table. And here we take some period. I think this is not enough. 3 is okay. I think we should change this. Okay, product is, let's give setup star. Execute this. Okay. You all know how this works. So the moment I executed 5 products, it selected that resource also because it's all reduced on only one resource. Why I came here is because I don't have to go to 5 times in product view to give demand. Here I can give demand directly. We can do it at a week level. Yeah, so every bucket is a week. So we are in week 11 now. So let's say week 12. Next week we'll give here. Okay, so let me put some around 850. Scroll. Let's 850, 900, and this one. Just giving some demand for all the 975. So just some quantities I've given. Setup 1, setup 2, setup 3, 4, and setup 5. Okay, let me save this. See, from here only you can plan. That we are not seen. So today we'll see that. Either you go to product heuristic if you have maintained, or you can go to variable heuristic. So here it gives you, say, any heuristic that we, planning of standard lots. If you take, you have to always, if you have not selected in the first screen, you have to make sure that you have to select those products. And if you want, see, you don't need resource if you ask me, because you're not actually planning for the resource, you're planning for the product. In case if you're planning for the resource, you can also pull the resources here and you click on heuristic. Okay, you see the product is setup 1. Say adopt. See here, you see setup 2 now. It's planning by okay. So it has created some planned orders. See, planned orders it has created. Save it. Okay, go to DS4. Here, okay. I'm just changing. Okay, just to show you how to create a work area, I just did that. Get inside. You should see all the 5 products, that resource, and okay, this is how it looks. Expand multiple loading. Okay, can you see setup matrix here? You don't see, it has done backward scheduling. That's why end date is same, but you don't see setup time and all. Let me zoom. If anyone can tell me why. Let me double click this. Okay, you observed, huh? I'll show you the changes when I. Okay. See, there is no setup time. Double click this. Change. Okay. You know, a resource master cannot be changed, but there are certain fields which a PPDS advanced planning owns. Like block planning is open, setup matrix. You have to call the setup matrix that we just created, or else it doesn't work. You cannot save here. You have to go. See, you see some setup times here. After assigning the, let me show you. Save it. Very interesting, huh? Setup matrix. Okay, I'll select this and find slot. Reschedule. We'll say it didn't. You know why? Our planning period is only till here. That's why here you have a different scale. Let's go to this time profile. Let's see what happens if we change the time profile. I don't know why I took week 14. It's too far, but doesn't matter. Yeah, now it should work. Expand multiple loading. Let's give 18. Okay. So the moment you give 18, it has done like this. You see here, this is done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, one after the other. I'll zoom it. Okay. See here, what it has done is, if I go to DS strategy and schedule sequence, I have given descending order as setup group. Okay. Hence, it has taken descending order in forward direction. You understand, right? Descending order 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 in forward scheduling. If I say, let's see whether this changes things. Now, instead of reschedule, if we leave it like this, and we'll change the strategy to ascending, and you see the difference. So I'm expecting I give 17 there. See, before it was descending. 5 was first, 4 was second, 3 was third, 2 was fourth, then first 1 was fifth. Now it has done it in the ascending order. So ascending and descending, it's okay, but that is not the problem here. So everything has a different setup time. And if you notice, there is nothing here. There is no setup time in the first one. Can someone tell why we don't have any setup time, but we have setup time for everything?
It's because it's a blank slate, so you start your day fresh. There's nothing like you expect.
No, that yeah. See, it's blank slate. That statement is correct, but not because of the first day. It has got no reference. We always
before.
have A to B, B to C, right? But see here, when I select this one and put it here, see this got setup time now. Before this never had setup time. That got setup time, but this lost the setup time because before this there is nothing. This got setup time. Okay, and
Yes.
e- and so dynamically setup time changes. See, if I take this one and put it here, this will have a new setup time. See, now the setup time increased. Before it was smaller. You keep watching, yeah. See, now I take this, put it here. See, the setup time reduces. So how do you know whether it's reading the setup time or not? Okay, you have to double click that. No, not here. Here it will only show you what is the setup group. That's all. Okay, so this is C, right? That's what it showed you. This is what? This should be D. So C to D, what is the setup time? So if you double click this, it will show you, double click this, setup time is 14 minutes. Okay, C to D, what is the setup matrix time? C to D. You have to go and see in the matrix. CDP, SC7, SC6, yeah, SC7. C to D, right? So C to D, 14 minutes. Yeah. So if you want to see B to A now, 17 minutes. Let's see whether we can achieve that. B to A. Is this B? This is C. E. So the best way to identify is we know that second product. This should be B, right? This is B. Yeah. So what we wanted was B to A. A is this one, which is this. So 17 minutes. Okay. Before we see this is A. Okay. Concentrate here. This is A. What is the current setup time? That we'll know here. So the current setup time is 19 minutes, because 19 minutes is for a different reason, because it's referring to this one. If I move this here, the setup time should change to 17 minutes. Okay, we have to validate. So from 19 minutes, it's changed to 17 minutes. Okay, so dynamically, whether you plan or schedule, whatever you do, insert, you do close gaps, any type you do, earliest date, forward date, desired date, and anything, it just goes by the changeover time, not the setup time that you take. Okay, now I have another challenge. This is my A. Okay, I will say I will change the order quantity from 850 to 1100. Okay, let it be like this. Now, the setup time will be still 17 minutes. Irrespective of the quantity, it is just referring to this. But for some reason, I cannot produce this in one lot. I need to break this into two lots for various reasons. And when I break this is also setup group A, right? So A to A is how much? So this is A. So here, $15 minutes. Okay, let's see both. I will create another order. Okay. So both are A. Double click this. See, 1 minute. Why it is taking is because of the transition time. If I remove this, it may not reflect immediately, I doubt, but let me refresh and see. Huh. See here, now because I removed that transition type, now we should show 15 minutes. 15 minutes. Okay, makes a lot of sense. So you don't have to worry even if the same product is there, as long as you have maintained your changeover time, the system takes care of itself. Okay, this is what the planner thinks. So planner says this is how I want to produce DS strategy, specify date forwards. This is how planners thinks that this is the best way to produce. Okay, so you'll reschedule from 16th, all done. Okay, so this is a sequence planner things that needs to be produced. But this has impact on cost. Okay. Impact on cost, because yeah, I mean this is based on planner's experience, but this will have a lot of cost involved. So you need to get the optimizer come in, and based on cost, it needs to give um, a finite schedule based on change over time. The best optimizer may think you need to produce 3 first, 2 second, 1/3 like that. So how do we influence optimizer is what we have to see. And to see that, the problem is morning I found out that optimizer server is not installed. So I've told Sriram has told Pawan. Pawan will um, install optimizer this week. So next week we'll have to start running optimizer. But before that, we need to discuss about optimization profile. If you know what it is, then next week it will be just clicking this button. That's it. Okay. So that we'll do. We'll just take a 10 minutes break, and then we'll come back. And to go through optimization profile, it takes maybe 15-20 minutes. Yeah. So we'll do that, and then we can wind up. Okay. So let's meet exactly in 10 minutes. All right, let's start. So the optimization profile, which is there in the DS board, calls the optimization profile that we have assigned in the overall profile. So in the overall profile, we have assigned the optimization profile that we had created in configuration, right? So let's go to SPRO. It should be in advanced planning. Detailed scheduling, optimization profile. Okay, so here you have all the profiles that are created. Okay. So this is ours. We copied this from the see, optimization is can be executed for certain ATP categories. Say, for example, you have um, defined some category, say production order, you want to run optimization. Planned order, you don't want, or unfirm planned order, you don't want. Firm planned order, you want. So how do you classify the selection? So you can classify selection by ATP categories also. Inside the profile, you can do that. Or here you can define for this optimization profile, what are all the categories? Okay. And also you can list for the any optimization profile, what are the resources? Okay, duration, what is the percentage it has to be considered, and all these things you can define. So this is at a entire profile level. If you go inside the profile, you can there also there is a provision to give ATP categories. But in the DS profile, DS scheduling board, you can select any resource and run optimization. Okay, so if you have assigned resources here, the background job, if you run optimization, it picks all these resources which you have defined in the capacity change. If you double click this, you will have what is the maximum runtime? You can say 1 minute, 10 minutes, whatever. Yeah. So I give 1 minute, or you can say end run after first solution. It could be 10 minutes, but first solution may be achieved in 5 minutes. So stop it there also again. See, this is all the weightage that we give. Make span is the lead time. Make span is the total lead time of any order on a resource. So where you want to give weightage to that, or you want to give weightage to the setup time. Say, for example, setup time is higher, cost is higher. Which one has more weightage? So you need to optimize. So you need to say, for me, cost is important, not the setup time. So then it'll look at the most cost effective way. Okay. Then you say cost, I don't care. I want to reduce setup time. Then you have to give weightage to setup time. Here you can say 40. Okay, so 40 is to setup time, cost is little bit lesser. Okay, see in the when you will see this in the DS board, it comes up with a picture here where it will show a circle with splits within that based on the weightage. So that also that we'll see next week. For now, we'll keep all this. And you also have a delay cost, right? Delay cost comes from your demand. Uh, you tell the system that for me cost is important. Setup times I don't care. Look at the cost and schedule something. So what it does, it'll come up with a cost-effective sequence where the setup time could be more. Because of that more setup time being more, you may end up producing it very late outside your requirement. So then you can give some delay cost also. Here in this tab, you can define based on some more parameters on delay. I'll show you later. But you can give some weightage for delay cost also. Maximum delay cost, total delay cost. Okay, both and details it'll be here. Mode cost. Mode cost would be in next Saturday session we'll be learning classification. I'll teach you about modes. Okay, you actually can do, but that's very complicated scenario where you're introducing setup times, you're introducing modes, and then on top of that optimization, it's too early in the sense even in any implementation to get to that level, it takes years. Okay, and moreover, mode itself is a very complex scenario, right? You have one routing, but you have 5 missions. You have one routing, one machine only, but your machine is linked to another 4 machines. Okay, so that becomes modes. So in that complex scenario, which we'll see next Saturday, if you want to introduce some cost, you can still define. I'll show you. It's all there in the cost. So and then you want what do you want to do with the late operations? Whether you want to allocate, deallocate, or schedule. Late operations are nothing but you have a horizon. Okay, so that will be here. Okay, what you'll do with the horizon? One thing outside the horizon. The other thing is if the requirement is on 8th of March, if your last operation, because of all the setup times, there is an operation which is on 9th. So what do you want to do? Yes, schedule or deallocate. Deallocate that operation and you see whenever you want, you can allocate it. Option is also available. Okay. And whether you want to do backward scheduling or compact scheduling. I told you what is compact scheduling. Compact scheduling is nothing but every operation has maximum queue time, what is it? Minimum wait time, minimum queue time, uh, wait, move, queue. There are 3 different times in any operation, right? So one operation to another operation, it cannot happen next second. There's always some period between operations. So in between operations, all those periods, the move time and all this, will have minimum and maximum. So if you click on compact scheduling, it will consider only minimum times. To move from first operation to second operation, you need at least 15 minutes, but sometimes it has taken 40 minutes also. So 40 minutes is your maximum, 15 minutes is your minimum. So compact scheduling will be considering only 15 minutes as the time between operations if you select this. Okay, and it will still do backward scheduling from the requirement data. And that's why it says in requirement when you do backward scheduling, if the operation is late, what I should do is what it. Okay, and what are all the orders that it has to optimize? If you have purchase requisitions in the system, whether you want to do it. If you say yes, it will consider purchase requisition also for scheduling. Okay, and then while it schedules, it needs to know what is the time required to procure. So then you have, if see, normally we don't need this, we don't use it. It's an option SAP has given. Okay, if you have checked external procurement, also give consider plant delivery time. It's a good practice. Okay, so for us, all we need is in-house production time only. All the stock transfer and TS stock transfers are deployment requisitions out of scope in S4HANA. Like I told you, they have just copied objects from APO and they've pasted in S4. In S4HANA, we'll not even have these requirements in the system. I agree that if you say external procurement, yes. In APO, yes. In the DS, but you see deployment orders, you'll see TLB orders, everything. But in S4HANA, these are not there at all. Okay, it's just there because it was there in APO. So ignore it. Selection by see whether you want to consider scheduled orders only for reschedule. See now that the orders that we have in the system setup matrix we executed, and those are all scheduled. Okay, so here it is saying okay, reschedule based on what optimization things for scheduled orders only, or should it consider both, or should it schedule only deallocated orders? Okay, that's all as straightforward as it is. Prioritization of orders. Okay, so say for example, if I say 3, okay, here, what it means is in if you go to RRP 3, there is something called um, there is something called order priority. change mode, priority. Yeah, here you can say I want my priority as 1, 2, 3. That you can also do. Okay, but on a resource, on a particular resource, now we have 5 products. In 5 products, you would have defined priorities, right? So this priority is nothing but if you put 3, it will go and read all the products on that resource, and it will consider one set of orders with priority 1, second set of orders under priority 2, until 3 it will go. Okay, and then it will run the optimization. It's not that third priority orders it will schedule until priority 3. It will group all orders under priority 1 first, all orders on priority 2 second, and then it comes to third. Fourth, it will not go because you say only consider my 3 priorities which are important. Something like that. If my orders are fixed, you know how to fix the orders I showed you today. What it should do? Orders with fixed activities, fix it. So system also fixes that optimization. Okay, and then there is an horizon. Always I told you the time profile, which is 14 days from now, is my time profile. My optimization horizon could be today to next 3 days, because I am focused only about the current production which is going on. I want to optimize only my production orders. I don't want to optimize something which is next week, right? So that is PPDS horizon and that is time profile. But optimization horizon, you can always say next 3 days only. Okay. So what it is asking, what should it do? If the orders say, think that there is my 3 days is my optimization horizon. Okay, that is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. There is an order which starts on Wednesday, finishes on Thursday. So what it should do is what it is asking. So you say fix it, start is before the optimization horizon, fix if the end is beyond optimization. Okay, so basically we are telling the system any such orders which is during that start and end of horizon, fix those orders. Okay, don't do anything. And then there is another scenario where uh, orders, because of optimization, there is already an order which starts on Monday, finishes on Wednesday. But Tuesday, my production or version validity ends. From Wednesday, there is a new production version which will be valid. Because of optimization, this order gets pushed to Wednesday. So what it should do, whether it should regard as soft, okay, regard as hard, or ignore, or regard as deallocated. If you say hard, it will not actually push that order to Wednesday because it knows that this order cannot be produced. The production version is different on Wednesday. Soft and ignore to me both are same. No. Soft is it will still do it. Okay, this is what I've seen. Yeah, I always thought soft and ignore is same, but I've never used ignore. In APU, I don't see ignore at all. It's soft. Okay, so if you say soft, it will still schedule the orders to Wednesday. Regard as deallocated means it will deallocate those orders. So that it's a good practice. Hard and soft both does the same. Hard it doesn't touch, soft it will push, but you don't know that it has not done anything. Okay, at least if you say regard as deallocated, the moment you go to DS board, you know there are some orders which are deallocated. You know the reason is because I told the system deallocated. It could be because of my production version. You can take some action at least. Okay, all these are all production order released status. If it's a released operation, reschedule or fix all operation of an order. Okay, uh, right. So all we are saying is if any production order operation release means you cannot release an operation, you release an entire process order. What it should do? Yeah, best practice is reschedule. Oh, it's released. So what? There is a reason that we are running optimization. So reschedule it. Okay. See, whenever you set some indicators like fixate and all, the problem would be that you will have to go and take manual action. Be very careful. So that's why never say fix, because you don't know whether you fixed or optimization fixed. You have no idea. So hence never touch this. I have faced a lot of problems with fixing. Planner says I didn't fix, then we think okay, optimization fixed. So who did what, we don't know. So hence never fix any orders. In optimization, always reschedule, because or else increase the optimization horizon. Okay. Then orders which are already started, whether they should be scheduled or what. They already started, it's released and partial confirmation has happened. If you run optimization on that, what it should do? Should it run normally or it should go with prioritization? What is prioritization? That is this, what I just showed you. This one here, sorry. Yeah. Okay. Then resource processing. When it comes to resources, see again, calendar resource are out of scope in S4HANA. Okay, it's there because it's there in APO. We don't use calendar resource. In APO, we use calendar resource. Okay, so we don't have to discuss about all this. Secondary resource, yeah, you know, non-selected secondary resource, I would say make it infinite scheduling. I don't really care about the secondary resources. Focus main is my critical products on a primary resource is what we schedule. If you simply go and do all this, the runtime will be increasing. Okay, in order to reduce the make span, that is the runtime, you need to be very careful when you set up the optimization. Okay, how finite the resource should be? I would say always schedule as finite. Okay, because these things can be changed. But if you have this one, always whenever optimization runs, it does finite scheduling. And if it is a finite capacity, what it should be, this is the right setting as specified in the resource. Okay, say for example, in CTP and all, we did something, right? We put it as bucket capacity, but on those we don't run optimization. Okay, uh, two settings here, either you leave it like this or you make it time continuous capacity. Okay, mode priority. See here, lowest mode priority. This we will understand only next week. Modes will have many priorities. There could be 5 modes, and I define priorities to all the 5 modes A, B, C, D. Here we are only telling the system to what extent it has to go. Okay, so you will say choose a different mode. If you say retain the mode, means always it retains the first one. Mode A is the first one. You'll get clarity on this only next week, because I simulate all this and show next week. Retain mode, what happens? Different mode, what happens? I'll show all those when we come to. Yeah. So optimization, they have also given that provision. That's all. Okay. Resource buffer, whether it should really consider the resource buffer or not. Okay. What is buffer? It's just a safety time. In product, we have safety stock, right? In work center, I showed you. Buffer is the additional time that is given to any machine. If the runtime is 45 minutes, you want a buffer of 10 minutes, it always considers 55 minutes. Okay, so whether optimization should also consider that or not, that's all. This for resource network planning, which is out of scope for us. Okay, resource network planning, tank planning, and all, we are not learning in this batch. I was talking about horizon. This is the horizon. In the DS board, it shows you even a better presentation of horizons in the DS board. Next week, we'll anyway, once Pawan fixes that, I'll show. See here, if you want to define horizon, see here. Here it is says 15/3/2020. Yeah, if you say start of the month, which month F5, it should be. Yeah, it's because of this. End of the horizon. Okay. Start of the horizon should fall within the optimization. This is correct. Start of the month, 5th month. Yeah. So what it is doing is 5 months from now, this is relative, right? So 5 months from now, the optimization horizon starts and it ends 7 months from now. What is start of so even though horizon is from 8th month to 10th month, it will plan only from 6th month. Doesn't make sense. I'm just showing you how horizon works. Okay, so it doesn't make sense. You can, if you leave it as it is, it will only ask you for say 14 days. So this is the right way. 15th, okay, start of optimization horizon, that is today. For next 14 days is my optimization horizon. Is this how we define? If you don't want from today because today production is already going on, so you don't want next 1 or 2 days. If you don't want, then you can put it as a 3. So third day from today. Yeah, here also we should put 3. Yeah, so third day from today, your optimization horizon starts, and even the it'll plan from 18th until 29th. Anything outside that it will not touch. Okay, costs. See, all these mode costs are blank because, see, mode is blank because of this. If you go and say put some value here, say give some 10 here, immediately if you go to cost, that opens up. See, that opens up. So here it is saying mode A, mode C, mode put all the modes and you give some variable cost to it. So you may ask what is fixed cost, what is variable. See, fixed cost is the cost is always same irrespective of the quantity. Okay, variable cost is whenever large orders, this based on the order quantity only. Okay, so normally I have always used variable cost. I don't give fixed cost. Even in SMT optimization also we always use variable cost. Okay, so say for example my cost is too high on mode B. If it is lower on mode A, it will plan on A. Yeah, and it will also look at the weightage. If the weightage is very less, then it ignores. Yeah, it's saying no ascending mode priorities. Yeah, so because I gave A, B down, right? That's why. Okay, so this also can be given, but it depends. If you want really mode to be considered, then your weightage for mode should be higher than everything else. Only then it'll obey this one. Okay. On top of that, you're saying delay cost gives some weight 60 as a weightage. Okay. Then you have to define delay cost. Okay. Here there's another good thing. I told you that order priority, right? Priority I. So you can always define a delay cost. Here, think that you have prioritized like this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And because of, say, for example, this planned order is your second priority, but the date could be 19th. Just an example I'm giving. Okay. And there comes the problem because there is a delay cost. You are prioritizing 2, but there'll be delay and there is a delay cost. So then it will not consider that. The moment it sees priority 2 and some delay cost here, it will go and check what is the uh, delay cost weightage. If the weightage is too high, okay, you got it right. See, if setup cost is too high, setup it will give weightage to the cost. Time it doesn't care. Exactly like that. Okay, so based on the weightage, the preference will be given. Okay, so now there is a delay. If the delay cost is lower, it says it's fine. delay is there also, I don't care. Okay, because I need to give weightage for setup cost. Okay, every cost that you have defined here and in the setup matrix is driven by weights. Okay, so that's why I said in one of the client in UK, we implemented optimization, big bang directly. We optimization go entire flop, even, and then they went back to setup matrix. I'm talking about 2013. Even today, they've not gone back to optimization. Initially, they wanted everything. They said, I said cost. Yes, we want delay cost. Yes, we want more cost. They put everything and tested with 5 products, 10 products. It worked. But when we went live, the planners did not like the output of optimization at all, because they started complaining that optimization doesn't think like them. Okay, so if they don't trust optimization, then they have to stop using optimization. And we told them, okay, you go ahead with the setup matrix. So third day, this was turned off, and it's been 7 years now. It's still off. So optimization is not easy, very complex. Okay. So yeah, these are the costs. And if you want to do, say for example, at the moment you check on any work center, if you check it as a bottleneck resource, it shows in the DS board in red color font. Okay, so just remind me sometime. I'll show you on any of our resources. You have to just go and check that bottleneck resource indicator. Immediately in DS board, it shows in red color. Okay, so sometimes because it's a bottleneck resource, optimization can do optimization engine can run optimization separately on those bottleneck resources also. Okay, so for that you'll have to say it's a bottleneck optimization, and you have to give separate weightage for that. Okay, so these are the high level settings. So what we'll do is next week we already have those orders scheduled. Okay, and no bottleneck optimization. Horizon. Okay, there is one more functionality in APO that we have which we don't. Actually, we can get optimization to create orders. So that functionality they've not given in S4. Okay, so next week I'll show that also, and yeah, I'll show you what is the benefit of that. That has a lot of benefits. Here, the prerequisite is you have to create the orders, and on top of this orders, it will run optimization. Whereas in APO, you can get optimization to create orders and schedule everything together, like CTP. Automatic planning and scheduling based on cost that you can do in APO. Here, they've not given that functionality. Okay, I'll show that next week. We'll start from optimization, and next week we'll execute optimization, validate the results. That's it. 15 minutes. We'll get into interchangeability, and then we'll get into quota arrangement, classification, subcontracting. I doubt whether we can get to subcontracting, but we'll see. Like I said, next week I've already told you 3 hours. So please be prepared for 3 hours. Don't worry. Next Saturday, Sunday, 3 hours. If we cannot finish, I don't mind. We'll have one more session after that. I'll not rush. I'll cover everything, whatever was promised. Okay. Thanks, guys. Thanks for your additional 30 minutes. Um, we'll catch up next Saturday and continue from. Okay.
Well,
Thanks.
thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.